Hey everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Chatter. I'm Elliot Carter, your host, and we're diving into the fascinating world of crypto again.
I'm Mira Bennett.
And today we're going to be talking about something that could seriously change how we think about getting paid.
That's right.
Bitcoin salaries.
Exciting stuff.
It is exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And, I am really excited to have you back on the show, Mira, to kind of help me unpack all of this.
Always happy to be here.
And speaking of unpacking things, if you want to protect your crypto like the pros do, you should check out the Ledger Stacks or the Trezor Safe 5 cold wallets.
Right.
They're the most secure way to hold your digital assets.
Absolutely.
You can visit cryptochatter.co.uk to learn more.
That's right.
So getting back to the topic at hand,
Yeah.
imagine getting a portion of your paycheck directly in Bitcoin.
I know, right?
It sounds futuristic,
It does.
but it might be closer than you think.
Yeah.
Lawmakers in Brazil are considering a bill that would allow exactly that.
And this isn't just some fringe idea either. This bill is gaining some serious traction, and if it passes, it could have ripple effects throughout the entire global financial system.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the bill as it stands would give employees the option to receive up to 50% of their salary in Bitcoin.
Wow.
That's a pretty significant chunk.
That is a huge chunk.
It's not just about convenience either. It's a strategic move by Brazil to position itself as a major player in the crypto space.
Totally. They're already attracting major crypto companies like Binance, and this bill could make them even more appealing to international businesses and tech talent.
It's a way of signaling that they are forward-thinking and open to innovation.
Exactly.
And it's interesting because Brazil is already ahead of the curve when it comes to crypto regulation.
That's right.
They officially recognized Bitcoin as a virtual asset back in 2019.
They did.
Yeah.
And this new bill really builds on that foundation. You know what's really fascinating is the way they're trying to balance innovation with stability. For example, while employees could choose to receive part of their salary in Bitcoin salaries, would still be officially recorded in Brazilian reais for tax and regulatory purposes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's a way of integrating crypto into the existing system.
Right.
Without completely upending it.
Exactly. It's a very pragmatic approach. They're not throwing out the old system entirely. They're finding ways to make it work alongside this new technology.
Now, I know some people might be hesitant about this whole idea.
Sure.
Bitcoin is known for its price volatility. Would getting paid in Bitcoin be too risky for the average worker?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And the bill does address it. It emphasizes transparency, and education employers would be required to provide clear information about the risks involved with crypto, including volatility. They'd also have to give employees detailed salary statements showing the breakdown between reais and Bitcoin.
So it's about empowering workers to make informed decisions,
Exactly.
not forcing them into something they don't understand.
It's all about choice. If you're comfortable with the risks and believe in the long-term potential of Bitcoin, you can opt in. If not, you can stick with the traditional system.
Now, this isn't just a Brazilian phenomenon. Argentina proposed a similar bill back in 2021 to help citizens cope with soaring inflation.
Oh, wow.
So this is clearly part of a larger global trend.
Absolutely. We're seeing more and more countries recognizing the potential of cryptocurrencies. Some are exploring central bank digital currencies, while others are looking at ways to integrate blockchain technology into their financial systems.
Ready to take the plunge into the world of crypto?
I think so.
Secure your digital assets with a Ledger Stacks or a Trezor Safe 5 cold wallet. Head to cryptochatter.co.uk to find the perfect wallet for you. It feels like we're on the cusp of a major shift in how we think about money and finance. But let's bring it back to this specific bill in Brazil.
Okay, let's delve into some of the potential benefits for Brazilian workers beyond just the novelty of getting paid in Bitcoin, because there are some really interesting possibilities here.
For sure.
Yeah. One of the most compelling aspects of this bill is its potential to empower the unbanked population in Brazil. A significant portion of the population doesn't have access to traditional banking services.
That's a really important point. Cryptocurrency, by its very nature, is decentralized. You don't need a bank account to use it.
Exactly. So for people who have been excluded from the traditional financial system, this could be a game changer. It could give them access to financial services that were previously out of reach.
And it's not just about access, it's also about control. With crypto, you have more control over your own finances. You're not relying on a third party to manage your money.
Right, and that's particularly relevant in countries like Brazil, where there's a history of economic instability and currency devaluation.
We saw this play out in Argentina, where people turned to Bitcoin as a way to protect their savings from hyperinflation.
Exactly. And while Brazil's economy is more stable than Argentina's, there's still a deep-seated distrust of traditional financial institutions. So this bill could be seen as a way of giving people more financial autonomy.
Now, I know some critics argue that this is all just hype, that Bitcoin is too volatile to be a reliable form of payment.
There's definitely volatility to consider, but remember, this bill gives employees a choice. They're not forced to receive their entire salary in Bitcoin. They can choose a percentage that they're comfortable with, and they can always convert back to RIAs if they need to.
And as more businesses start accepting Bitcoin directly, that volatility becomes less of an issue. You can use it to buy goods and services without having to convert it back to fiat currency.
That's a key point. We're already seeing growing adoption of Bitcoin as a payment method, both online and in brick and mortar stores. And as that trend continues, the practical benefits of getting paid in Bitcoin will become more and more apparent.
It's almost like we're witnessing a paradigm shift in how we think about money for centuries. We've relied on centralized institutions to control our financial lives, but crypto is challenging that model.
It is. It's about decentralization, transparency, and individual empowerment. And while there are certainly risks involved, there's also tremendous potential for positive change.
This bill in Brazil is a perfect example of that. It's a bold experiment, and it will be fascinating to see how it plays out.
Absolutely. And regardless of the outcome, it's sparking important conversations about the future of work and finance. It's forcing us to rethink our assumptions and explore new possibilities.
Now let's get practical for a moment. Let's say you're a Brazilian worker who decides to start receiving part of your salary in Bitcoin. What happens next?
Well, the first thing you would need is a crypto wallet. This is a digital wallet where you can source, send, and receive Bitcoin.
Want to protect your crypto like the pros? Do check out the Ledger Stacks or Trezor Safe. 5 cold wallets, the most secure way to hold your digital assets. Visit cryptochatter.co.uk to learn more. There are lots of different types of wallets available, right?
You have software wallets, which are typically mobile apps. These are convenient for everyday transactions. Then you have hardware wallets, which are physical devices that store your Bitcoin offline. These are considered more secure for larger amounts of crypto.
So let's say you choose a software wallet and your employer deposits 20% of your salary in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
What can you do with that Bitcoin?
You have several options. You could simply hold on to it as an investment, hoping that its value will increase over time. You could use it to buy goods and services from merchants who accept Bitcoin, or you could convert it back to Brazilian reais through a cryptocurrency exchange.
So there's a lot of flexibility there. It sounds like getting paid in Bitcoin opens up a whole new world of possibilities. But as with anything new, there's a learning curve.
There is. But the good news is there are tons of resources available to help people navigate this. There are educational websites, online courses, and even communities dedicated to helping people understand and use Bitcoin.
And as crypto becomes more mainstream, we can expect those resources to become even more accessible and user-friendly.
Absolutely. We're already seeing a shift towards more intuitive wallets and exchanges. The technology is constantly evolving to make it easier for everyday people to use.
Now, we can't talk about crypto without addressing the elephant in the room. Security. We hear all these stories about hacks and scams. How can people make sure their Bitcoin is safe?
Security is paramount. That's why it's crucial to choose reputable wallet providers and exchanges that prioritize security measures.
And it's important to be aware of the different types of wallets. You mentioned hardware wallets earlier. Can you explain why those are considered more secure?
Sure, hardware wallets are physical devices that store your Bitcoin offline. Your private keys, which are essentially the passwords to your Bitcoin, are never exposed to the internet. This makes them much less vulnerable to hacking.
Want to protect your crypto like the pros? Do check out the Ledger Stacks or Trezor Safe 5 cold wallets, the most secure way to hold your digital assets. Visit cryptochatter.co.uk to learn more. So for anyone serious about holding Bitcoin, a hardware wallet is probably a good investment.
I would definitely recommend it, especially for larger amounts. It's like having a digital safe for your crypto.
This whole conversation has been incredibly insightful, Mara. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of what's possible with Bitcoin salaries.
We have this bill in Brazil as just one example of how crypto is starting to reshape the financial landscape. It's going to be fascinating to see how this all unfolds in the coming years.
It really is. It feels like we're on the verge of a major transformation in how we think about work, money, and technology.
It's an exciting time to be involved in this space. That's for sure. There are challenges ahead, but there's also immense potential for positive change.
Well said, Mira. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. And for our listeners, we've got a fun quiz in the show notes to test your crypto knowledge. Be sure to check it out. Also, if you enjoyed this deep dive, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Crypto Chatter for more explorations into the world of digital assets. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and as always, invest responsibly.